Welcome everyone to this special episode of Chat GDG. I'm your host, Stefano. I'm also part of GDG Cloud London, and I've created this podcast that you can find on LinkedIn and on YouTube. And I'm joined by my lovely second host or co-host, Natalie.
Hi everyone, welcome to Berlin with us. I am Natalie Godek. I'm a GDE in Cloud Champion Innovator, part of GDG Cloud London as well, of course. And I'm really thrilled to be here and to be filming in this very hot day here in Berlin. Who would have thought?
Yeah, right? When they announced the... so, of course, where are we? Where are we? We are at Google I/O Connect 2024 in Berlin. And as you were saying, when they announced in Berlin, we were worried about the weather. Maybe it's not a good weather. The weather was amazing, even a little bit too hot, if you ask us. But, it's better this way.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of us flew in from Izmir in Turkey, where it was 39 degrees.
Wow.
And to be honest, it was less hot than in Berlin.
Humidity level is really,
Yes. So Google I/O Connect. In Berlin, in Europe, we are here with the EMEA region, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa. How cool is that?
It's amazing. You see the word diversity really makes sense when you attend such events. So you see literally people from these amazing countries with amazing dresses. So you should really see It's a joy to be here,
yes.
Literally.
Yes, absolutely. And we went to the keynote in the morning, and they said that actually 40% of the world developers are based in EMEA.
Which was a surprising number. I didn't think there was that many, but I was a little off guard.
We've caught up with people yesterday. So last night, there was an event for communities, because there are a lot of communities that Google sponsors.
Yeah,
GDG, true. Google Developer Groups. There are GDSCs for students. There are GDEs, the experts, women tech makers. And all of them were at an event yesterday. So we met people from Nairobi, Kenya. We met people from all over Middle East.
Turkey. Spain, of course.
Spain,
Shout
Portugal.
out to the Spanish Armada. There are like 50 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not meet a single Spanish person last night. I don't know how that happened.
Okay, they were, hiding pretty successfully.
But I met everyone from Italy, so we're covering
a little
Europe.
bit,
So,
tend to be noisy.
And what's interesting is that those 40% of the worldwide developers actually are working on a lot of the products that are very on point now in 2024. Everything AI, everything research, everything's research of safety of AI as well. And we spoke and heard about products that are being worked on by teams that are in EMEA. So you had like teams in Nairobi, London, and Munich working on Android AI features. We had teams in Munich, again, working on safety and privacy, which is obviously a huge topic for Europe. European regulations are, I think, very famous in the world for safety and privacy of everything digital, but now more and more of AI. And there is a ton of research being done in Paris. I know of Paris Google teams are doing a lot of research. There is a research team in Malaga in Spain.
Okay.
In Nairobi again, working on how do we develop these cutting edge applications with AI, with Gen AI, with all of the things that are being worked on today, but how do we do it safely? And how do we protect data? And how do we protect privacy? Again, with Google Sovereign Cloud, which is a way to do cloud, but guaranteeing data residency, guaranteeing the security and compliance of your data in the cloud. All of that is being worked on in EMEA, which is awesome.
Yeah, because you would expect most of these things be work on in North America, right? Because, California or New York or Seattle. But it's absolutely amazing that those important things such as those are being worked on in here. In Europe or EMEA region.
And we are all gathered here and get a chance to meet each other. And also hear about technology that, like announcements and new features of the tech that is of our specific interest. And being in Europe again, so I/O Connect talks, and I/O in general talks about web, mobile, Android, Flutter, things like that. Cloud and AI as well, of course. And we are in Europe, and we're actually not that far from where the first ever website was created.
33 years ago was a website about websites. It was very interesting, right?
Yeah.
Back then was the CERN.
In CERN,
I think.
Yes.
And then also talking about that was very interesting, the new developments, because now of course AI is everywhere, literally. And for example, talking about web, there was a very interesting announcement during the keynote. So apparently, and it should be live now in Europe, if you use the Chrome inspector, you can actually leverage the power of Gemini in order to get context about the error. Maybe it can be a coarse error or can be one of the many errors that can occur on web. So you can literally leverage the power of AI to get you context about the error, and also to the AI clearly can try to suggest you the solution. So you can literally copy and paste a snippet of code and fix your error. It's incredible.
Yeah, that demo was actually pretty cool. And it goes along together with the Cloud Assist, which is also powered by Gemini, which is a feature of Google Cloud Console. You can ask it how to navigate the Cloud Console. You can ask it about errors in the logs, maybe select a log and ask it to explain the log and what's going on there. And from the demo of the Chrome Assistant, that was like exactly that. You just go into the developer tools and you can see all of that.
Yeah, a lot of that. Click a little, icon, and pretty much Gemini kicks off and does its magic. And you just are able to fix things.
Yeah.
Which I remember not that long ago, right? It can be a little bit of a painful process, hit or miss, trial and error. So this is a big help. So this is what I think AI should be doing, just helping humans. I don't think that AI will ever replace humans, but if AI is going to be developed in the right way, that's it. So we need tools to get our job easier. What was, question for you, what was the topic, the announcement from the keynote that really caught your attention?
Well, all of the things about the security and privacy and data sovereignty and protection of data. I build data platforms all the time, so for me it's a really a topic that is very close to my heart. So there was a lot of announcements around what's being worked on to protect and safeguard your code and your applications. There is a new product, a new team in Google that is working on something called checks. So that product will scan your code and scan your data connectors and verify them, validate them for compliance with various regulations. And of course, when we talk regulations, we have the EU, which is a global thing for Europe, but also each country has their own local regulations and local rules. Then if we go to Middle East, for example, each country is doing everything their own way. So for example, I mentioned Google Sovereign Cloud. The first two regions are France and Germany, but they are now expanding to Spain, Italy, and Saudi Arabia.
Ooh,
which is very cool because Saudi Arabia has very strict data protection laws, and it's kind of hard to do cloud when you're in Saudi Arabia. So now you have sovereign cloud, which means that Google Cloud is working with a local provider, a local telco provider probably, working in a local data center, and you can still leverage all of the latest and greatest of the cloud technology, but you are in control of your data, you are in control of the encryption, you are in control of where your keys are, and that's really powerful.
Wow.
And expanding the regions and everything, of course in Europe we have, I don't even know how many cloud regions, but then what about Africa, and what about those high-speed connections that are needed for doing something like AI research and Vertex AI that does tons and tons of data? How many billion tokens did they announce?
I don't know. It was a big number.
A big
I don't know.
number.
We are now, I think, all this number of tokens is getting a little bit out of hand. It's like a competition.
Well, people sitting next to me were very crazily excited about the number of tokens.
That's
so
it.
Good
so
job.
Should be a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's go and leverage those tokens, I guess.
And now there is a new connectivity situation happening in South Africa. So there is, about the high-speed undersea, subsea optical cables. There is one connecting either North Africa with South Africa or Europe with South Africa. And now there is one connecting South Africa with Australia.
That's insane if you think about that.
And what was the name of the?
It was the name that meant unity.
Umoja.
Umoja, okay.
The cable is called Umoja, which means unity, uniting the African continent with Australia. And that was very cool as well.
That says something in terms of inclusivity, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we should be working, you know, together, cross countries, cross everything.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Speaking of the people that we met, right? Because all of these technological, you know, announcements are super exciting. But I don't know you, but the main reason why I like attending these kind of events is because there are amazing people. Is, you know, meeting old friends and also meeting new friends. So when you are in this loop, like year after year after year, your network really grow a lot. And yeah, it's amazing to come on one of these conferences and catch up with people that you met a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
In a different country, in a different conference. As a speaker, I get that as well. You meet so many different people. And yesterday at the community event, you were wearing a T-shirt with GDG Academy.
Yeah.
So many people asked about it. What was that about?
GDG Academy is another project of mine, if that makes sense. So it's a mentorship program for university students. The inspiration came from, watching how the GDSC, Google program, GDSC is Google Developer Students Club, is going pretty quite well. So, and I thought, okay, this is pretty interesting. Like, how can we help the very young generations? Because at the end of the day, technically, they are probably even better than me at this point because they are super savvy, super into that. But what they probably lack is how is actually work out there. So academic knowledge, they are great of that. But in terms of real world knowledge, it's a little bit of a challenge. So at the end of the day, I've created this mentorship program, and we were lucky enough to now work with something like 10 universities in the United Kingdom. So we've got Imperial College, King's College, Glasgow University, and many, many others. And yeah, I look forward to expand this in the future to other countries. I've got a couple of interesting conversations yesterday with folks from France and Germany.
Yeah, everyone was asking about, like, what is GDG Academy? Because the other communities, we kind of know what's going on. And then you were wearing this flag with big GDG Academy. Everyone was like, hey, Natalie, who's that?
Yeah, what's that? Exactly. Yeah, I try to leverage always the Google colors, like here, the ChatGDG. Yeah. So it's immediately, recognized that, okay, this is something that has to do with Google, community-wise. Speaking of the academy, you've been one of the OGs. So you've been one of our mentors from the very beginning. That was February 2023, actually.
Yes, I have a video from the very first meeting where we wanted to meet at London Bridge and all of the pubs were very busy and we managed. One of the students actually just went out alone.
Yeah, Clement. Shout out to Clement.
Shout out. Just left us there being like, what do we do? He just went out and found a bar, very quiet, where we sat down, had cocktails and spoke about the beginning of the program.
Yeah, and that was actually the bootstrap of the program. Yeah. And then we were lucky enough to have the first session at Imperial College. And then we were like 8 mentors and something like 20-something, students. And then it got really, bigger and bigger. And, last year, October 2023, if you remember, we were still at the Imperial College. And it was like 197 people attending, almost 200 people in the room. It was super packed. All the students were excited to get to know more. Also because a little caveat, which is probably quite relevant, I'm also lucky enough to be offering internships. So as you know, from a student point of view, internships are something which is really important, right? So they're really looking for more internships. I'm lucky enough. My company, I work for the Times in London. So last year I offered one. And this year, in 2 weeks' time, on the 8th of July, I'm going to have 2 more joining one of the teams that I manage for 8 weeks.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be
so nice.
It's a very interesting, you know.
So that's in July. And now actually, like if you think about the timing of IO Connect and that we are here with all of the GDGs and the other groups from Europe and other cities, this is actually proven to be a very good timing to talk about what's happening in autumn.
It's going to be busy.
It's going to be a very busy period because DevFests.
DevFest is a big...
Yes.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. It's a series of conferences organized by local GDG groups everywhere, pretty much in every major-ish city even, everywhere in the world. So wherever you are in the world, if there is a GDG group somewhere in a city near you, there probably will be a DevFest. And a DevFest, it's a community conference, so it's all about topics that are relevant to technologies that are maybe within the Google ecosystem, so cloud, AI, mobile, Flutter, Android, web, all of that stuff. And it can be pretty small, like some people start with like maybe 150 to 100 attendees, one or two
communities
tracks.
Even like 40 to 50, right?
Yeah,
because
if
depending on where are you
exactly.
based.
And then we heard about GDG Istanbul today, 3,000 people.
Incredible numbers.
And of course we have GDG Nantes, DevFest Nantes in France. Every year they have this huge fantastic event with themes and contests and games and sponsors and a party. So that's a very fun thing to attend and a very fun thing to speak at. And for us, it's a very fun and stressful
thing to organize.
Exactly.
You have to deal with budget, you have to deal with funding a venue, you have to deal with the speakers, so with the CFP. So it's interesting, of course, clearly, when you organize an event such as this caliber, right? So oftentimes multiple GDGs collaborate with each other.
Like we do.
Like we do. So GDG Cloud London and of course our sister group GDG London will be collaborating for DevFest 2024. And hopefully we'll be soon releasing the
dates and opening the CFPs.
The CFPs, yeah. And also, what's interesting, because maybe not many people know, DevFest. What DevFest mean is Developer Festival. So this is the meaning of that. So even though you might say, I might not be interested in all the topics, it's fine, because for sure you will find something that can attract you. But also, there is a very, very strong element of connection with people.
Yes.
So even if for some reason you don't want to attend any of the talks, join anyway, because you will find amazing people. You should grow your network, and also oftentimes they are give away swags and cool stuff. So it's a really fun day. Yes.
I've met so many people. Last year I went to 4 DevFests as a speaker because as a GD we were encouraged to go and speak at DevFests. And you meet the organizers, of course. You meet the other speakers because there's usually a speaker's dinner. And also you meet all of the attendees. And now here today and yesterday, you cross paths with those people that you met last year, and sometimes it's like, oh my God, we've seen also each other at a different conference, or it's the first time you see each other since DevFest. It's like a yearly reunion of people with the same interests and with the same passion for technology, whatever the technology is. Like I'm cloud, infra, data platforms, and security, right? You won't see me at a session about Flutter, although I did go to Vadim's session because I was also taking pictures at DevFest London last year. I was photographing, so I heard something about Android development, and that was interesting for me, expanding my mental horizons as well.
Yeah, that's it. So the only unfortunate thing that you would like to go to every of this, right? But you need to prioritize. So you need to make tough the decisions. So hopefully we can go as many as we can, but that has a limit. There has to be a limit. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit challenging. So I think that we are almost out of time here, so we should probably wrap this up. I would like to thank you for being my co-host and also for helping me with all the, B-rolls and interviews. We did a bunch of interviews.
There will be videos for ChatGDG. There will be also a vlog on my channel, of course.
Which is?
Chief Gut Feeling Officer. My gut feeling is never wrong, so my channel is called that.
Yeah, which is amazing.
So it's all about tech and vibes.
Yeah, which is exactly great. So thank you, Nat. I appreciate that. And yes, you will be watching this one and all our content on ChatGDG, on YouTube and LinkedIn.
Yay!
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.